Hi everybody. So today I am doing a review on one of my pull-up dolls. This was a review that was requested by YouTube user AG Forever Fun, so thanks for that. I'm not holding the doll yet because once you see her, she is probably the most involved pull-up that I own. There's a lot of balancing involved with Rosalind. She's a high maintenance girl. Right now I have her on the stand, which I'll take off in a second. So what I'll do is I'll talk about her stock, and then I'll cover the doll itself, her face up and her wig and all that. So let me take her off her stand and see if that works. I'm finding that every time I try to take her off the stand, everything kind of falls apart. Okay. Yikes! And we're pulling a thread. This is the reality of owning this doll. Okay. All right, here's Rosalind. As you can see, her stock is very involved. Where can I even start? I guess with the top of it, which is her crown. And I will take that off. Without trying to break this poor girl. Ah, there we go. Alrighty. Okay, this is her crown, and it has little rose appliques. It's got red ribbons around the bottom of the crown. There's lace. There's a sheer fabric for her veil. It's got a kind of a gold glitter to it. And then on top, you can see there are more rose appliques, and then there is this little piece. I guess it's supposed to be like this. And when I got mine, this little metal piece was actually detached. There's some glue residue on the crown in the middle, and I believe that's how it's supposed to look. And I left it undone because I just thought, well, actually, for this review, but it's interesting that she has a crown on top of her crown. So that's that. Okay, her choker is really, really pretty. It is a gold lace. There's another one of those little red roses. There's a couple of these little pearl bead necklaces. There's two of them that wrap around, and it's attached by Velcro in the back. The dress has a lot going on. She has on her arms, I'll start there, these red gloves that go all the way past her elbow. She was covered in plastic when I got her, so I'm assuming that these red gloves probably do a little bit of staining, so I actually don't leave them on. And then on top of the gloves, she has what I believe is real fur little cuffs. And I'm not a fan, so I put these on just for the review, and they were coming right off. And then on top of that is another cuff that is gold lace, gold ribbon, and it's got the red fabric. The dress, there's a lot, again, a lot going on. The bodice part of her gown, there's a lot of detail here, and you can see there's ribbons and beads and lace, and it's gold. It's a lot, like I said, a lot going on. Underneath, she's got something kind of interesting. If you watched my review on Pullip Lunatic Queen, she has this kind of cage-like dress. And Rosalind has something very similar. This top part of her dress has metal in it, and so it you can kind of shape it a little bit, and it's gold. Because there are so many pieces, I've noticed places where the glue has kind of started to come apart. And underneath, oh, and then you can also see there's like random beads and also beads along the bottom. And then underneath this cage part, which I won't take off, it's a pain, is yet another dress, and you can kind of see it. It's more of this sheer fabric with the glitter, more lace. And it's actually kind of, the whole thing is kind of sheer. You can see right here, it's one of the places where it's kind of coming apart. All right. Another interesting thing about her dress is the back part. And this is tied around her waist with a red ribbon. And it is her train. And this thing is insane. There is a lot of fabric here. This is sort of a silky fabric. At the bottom is more of that gold and white lace. And then she's got these two side pieces that I usually try to drape in front of her. And it's also one of these pieces that she kind of came where it's sort of torn on one side, which is a real shame. So I try to keep her as still as possible on my shelf. Really pretty. Okay. There's one other thing that comes with her stock that I haven't shown you, and that is these really teeny tiny little rhinestones that, if you are much more crafty than I am, you can affix them to her eyelashes or to her face. And I just don't have the patience or the steady hands to do it, but really gives her more bling if she needs it. Oh, and then I should tell you that also underneath, almost forgot her fabulous gold shoes. She has red fishnet stockings that match her gloves, but these little red and gold shoes are pretty fab. Okay. Now the doll itself, I actually bought her because I thought the doll itself was beautiful. Her wig is kind of a, I don't know what you'd call it, strawberry blonde. It's a little bit frizzy and a little crazy on top, but I think that's because she's meant to, you know, hold that ginormous crown on her head. But I do love the curls. I think they're adorable. They're actually tied in certain places to keep this hairstyle. Her face up is very, very pretty. Her eyes are brown, but they have a little bit of a glitter to them. So there's a handful of pull-ups that I have that have a little bit of a glitter tone to the eye chips. And I think that's very pretty. She has these long, pretty lashes in her face up. And then her lips are very pretty light pink. And then if you click, you'll notice I won't close them both, but she just has the flesh-toned eyelids. The one time this doll is a less is more. Would I recommend her? Okay, I love this doll. I think she's beautiful, but I also think all of this dress, it makes me feel like the designers all got into a room and just went crazy. They were like, let's add more lace to it. Can we throw some beads on that? You know, where can we add more fabric? So it does come off a little bit like a deranged wedding cake topper, but she's supposed to be a princess, and princesses have big puffy dresses and lots of lace and beads. So I love her. You know, I keep her right on the top shelf. She's great to display. Not a lot of fun to pull down and, you know, kind of pose because everything falls apart, but she's really pretty. So if you are looking for kind of a showstopper doll, this is it. Leave me a message if you have a question. Thanks.